Contra Costa County is confronting a very dark period of its history. Decades ago, the city forced Chinese Americans out. KPIX 5's Wilson Walker live in Antioch with how the city is owning up to a racist past. Wilson?
Alan, they announced that this apology would be offered a couple months ago, and the crowd that showed up today was genuinely moved, not just by what was on the paperwork, but I think what was said, a real consensus among everyone there that what happened today could really be a model for places across the country.
Today, we, as the city of Antioch, take a dose of humility by acknowledging our troubled past and seeking forgiveness.
The city of Antioch stood up to face its own history today.
Right here in this area, all Chinese Americans were forced to leave their home in Antioch.
The document signed today is in part a listing of those sins, one after another.
Whereas the Chinese residents were forced out, Chinatown was burned to the ground, and Antioch made headline news. Headline news. The Caucasian torch, wrote the Sacramento Bee.
The proclamation also calls for atonement and an effort to shed more light on this piece of Antioch history, including the tunnels that persecuted residents built under their homes and businesses when sundown laws forced them off of the streets at night.
This is the first apology that's made by any government agency in the country, and I think it's a very courageous move, and it sets a very good precedent.
So for those on hand today, the hope is that this city's apology will lead to more discussions about America's past and more reconciliation.
Although sometimes justice may come late, but it will come eventually.
I want to thank the mayor and the city council for an extremely courageous act in signing of this proclamation. It is an uncomfortable era of our history, but it is a history that needs to be remembered. So thank you all, and thank you for allowing me to be part of this ceremony.
All right, so what comes after the apology? The city is, like I said, looking at making some sort of historical designations about this area as where Chinatown once sat. And they're also talking about something in the way of reparations for families that might have owned property here. The city has hired a consultant to see how that might work. So the work continues. We are live here in Antioch. Wilson Walker, KPIX 5.